Welcome to the Talk Like a Leader podcast, where we explore the mindset, skill set, and habit set of leadership communication. Using these tips, techniques, and tactics, you'll be able to talk like a leader to build better relationships and get more done. Your host is Guy Harris, who has more than 20 years of combined professional and military experience in consulting, coaching, and training in areas like team and interaction dynamics, communication strategies and tactics, as well as emotional intelligence. Take it away, Guy.
Hi, this is Guy Harris. Welcome to the Talk Like a Leader podcast. This week's episode is titled Work the Problem. Now, I got this phrase watching the TV show SEAL Team, and the lead character there, his call sign is Bravo 1. His name is Jason Hayes. He's a leader of Bravo Team on the show, and I don't remember the specific episode. I do remember the general situation. They were facing some kind of crisis. It was tense. The emotions were high. People were in jeopardy. And Jason Hayes said these words, "Emotions will kill you. Work the problem." And that's the genesis of the idea for this podcast episode. Emotions will kill you. Work the problem. Now, I don't believe that people shouldn't have emotions. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting that we don't feel things, that we don't respect other people's emotions, that we don't take emotions into account when making leadership decisions. I'm speaking specifically to the idea of clear and effective communication as a leader, or problem solving as a leader, and how we talk about the problem. So the situations I'm thinking about are the type of problems that arise in coaching a person on performance, or addressing a conflict, setting a goal. The kinds of situations where there might be some heavy emotion in the situation, and it would be easy to confuse the relationship problem with the business problem. And the point I'm trying to make today is work the problem from a leader perspective really means work the business problem. Now, I think it is important to maintain and build good, productive relationships with your team. I talk about that a great deal, and hopefully if you've listened to very much of this podcast, you'll see that I emphasize a great deal understanding the people side of the business problem that we're talking about. The specific situation I'm talking about here, though, is that it's easy for leaders to get sucked into or to be deluded by or confused by the difference between a relationship problem I have with a person and the business problem I'm trying to solve. What I'm suggesting is that the relationship problem is not the business problem. Or I'll say it another way. Me being frustrated or annoyed or irritated as a leader is not a business problem. It's a relationship problem. I'll say it a different way. You being irritated, annoyed, or frustrated as a leader is not a business problem. It's a relationship problem. Now, do we need to resolve the relationship problem? We probably do. We probably need to find a way to address any kind of problems we have in a relationship with people on our team. So what I would suggest is we want to work the business problem in a way that protects the relationship. You can do both at the same time. You just want to be careful that you don't confuse the two as you're trying to work the problem, because emotions will kill you. If you start getting irritated, annoyed, frustrated, and you express it in a negative or aggressive way, it's going to damage the relationship. If you withdraw because you don't want to engage, you're frustrated with a person and you withdraw from them, that's going to damage the relationship. We're no longer working the problem. We're letting the relationship problem get in the way of the real problem, which again is the business problem. So what's a business problem? A business problem is anything that affects our results, our bottom line, our team dynamics, our outcomes, our quality, our process efforts, all of those things. And it's unfortunately sort of commingled with relationship issues because we are, after all, working with people. So as we engage in conflict resolution, goal setting, those kind of things with members of our team, coaching conversations, we want to make sure that the problem we're trying to solve, primarily wearing the leader hat, wearing the boss hat, wearing the supervisor hat, whatever you call it, is the shared interest we have in solving the business problem. Now, what I've observed is that if we do that in a way that's respectful of the individual, if we do it in a way that invites people into the conversation, and we don't focus too heavily on the relationship dynamic, we instead focus on solving the shared interest we have, it probably has a backdoor effect of helping to fix the relationship problem. Now, does that mean that I think you never have a conversation about interaction dynamics or how you connect with people or the ways we speak with people or those kind of things? No, I don't think that you never talk about them. I'm suggesting that you don't commingle them. The idea is to keep them as separate things, to recognize that my relationship problem with the person does not necessarily create a work problem. It might create a work problem, just not by definition. And I have to be very clear that when we're trying to solve a problem, that we're trying to, as my daughter taught me this phrase, I think I've used it in a previous podcast episode, is to prosecute the problem, not the person. I want to be engaged with the person in a way that allows us to solve this problem together and invites them into the solution. So remember that Jason Hayes, SEAL team, emotions will kill you. Work the problem. I have to keep very clear in my mind what we're trying to do together and not commingle the two, because if I commingle the two, I will not accomplish either. I will destroy the relationship and not get the business problem solved. If I focus too much on the relationship problem, I'll ignore the work problem. If I address the work problem and stay focused on it in a respectful way that invites the other person in, so if I work the business problem in a way that protects the relationship problem, I'll probably solve both. So remember, separate business problems or work problems from personal problems. And when you are engaged with a member of your team or a coworker or a colleague, remember to work the problem. In this case, the business problem. Do it in a respectful way, and you can talk like a leader. This has been the Talk Like a Leader podcast. You can listen to this show every week wherever you get your podcast. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Guy Harris, and thanks for listening.